Ms. Chin, Mr. Patterson straightened his blazer with practiced disdain. The membership committee has made their decision. I sat quietly in the oak-paneled office of the Evergreen Country Club, watching the afternoon light reflect off my laptop's screen. The same screen displaying confirmation of my latest acquisition. Your behavior has been deemed unsuitable, he continued, flanked by the committee members in their perfectly pressed khakis and pastel polos. The standards of Evergreen must be maintained. Unsuitable. I kept my voice neutral, thinking of the papers my lawyers had finalized that morning. The incident at the charity gala. Mrs. Whitmore spoke up, pearls gleaming. Speaking to the staff like equals. Suggesting the club's investment portfolio was. She shuddered, outdated. And your attire, Ms. Bradford added, eyeing my simple black dress, a hand-tailored piece worth more than her annual membership dues. The club has a certain aesthetic. I checked my watch, Swiss-made, discreet, worth more than their cars combined. So my membership is being revoked? Effective immediately, Mr. Patterson nodded gravely. We'll refund your annual dues, of course. That won't be necessary, I said, opening my laptop. But while we're discussing membership, I turned the screen toward them, displaying the ownership transfer documents. The color drained from Mr. Patterson's face. What is this? Proof of purchase, I replied. As of 9 this morning, Evergreen Country Club, along with its sister properties across the country, belongs to Phoenix Global Holdings. Mrs. Whitmore's perfectly manicured hand flew to her throat. Phoenix Global, the investment firm that's been buying luxury properties? My investment firm, I corrected gently, though I prefer to stay out of the spotlight. Usually. Through the window, I could see members enjoying their afternoon golf, unaware that their exclusive sanctuary had just changed hands. This must be a mistake, Mr. Patterson stammered. No mistake, I smiled, pulling up more documents. Along with the club, Phoenix Global now owns the marina where you dock your boats, the private airfield you use for your weekend getaways, and, most interestingly, the banks holding most of your mortgages. The membership committee sat in stunned silence as their world shifted beneath their designer loafers. So, I closed my laptop. About that membership revocation. The staff complaints, Ms. Bradford whispered, her golf visor suddenly less crisp. When you defended them, were filed with the owner, I nodded. Which, as it turns out, was me. Even then, the wage increases and healthcare benefits have already been approved. Mr. Patterson's hands trembled as he reviewed the ownership documents. The renovation budget you questioned will be audited, I confirmed. Along with every financial decision this committee has made in the past 5 years. My team is particularly interested in those emergency repairs to the marina, the ones that somehow cost 3 times the market rate. Through the club's bay windows, I could see my security detail arriving, not in uniform, but in suits that cost more than a year's membership. The investment portfolio, Mrs. Whitmore said faintly, when you said it was mismanaged, is now under Phoenix Global's control, I finished. Though I doubt your husband will enjoy explaining to his clients why their funds are being transferred to more competent managers. My phone buzzed with updates from my executive team. The simultaneous acquisition of 5 other exclusive clubs across the country, all part of today's carefully orchestrated takeover. Your clothes, Ms. Bradford muttered. We thought they were cheap. Handmade in Paris, I smiled, smoothing my simple dress. By artisans who work exclusively for my fashion subsidiaries. The same ones that supply those designer labels you love to flaunt. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the membership committee's faces as they realized just how completely they'd misread the situation. The charity gala, Mr. Patterson said suddenly. When you were talking to the wait staff. My employees, I corrected. The catering company is one of my holdings. Along with the valet service, the florist, and that wine import business you're so proud of having an account with. Outside, members were starting to notice the arrival of serious-looking executives in bespoke suits. My management team, here to begin the transition. The membership list, Mrs. Whitmore clutched her pearls. Surely you can't review and revise it? I pulled up another document on my laptop. Actually, that's first on today's agenda. Along with a complete overhaul of the club's rather discriminatory acceptance policies. Mr. Patterson's club tie suddenly seemed to be choking him. But the traditions of exclusion, elitism, financial mismanagement. I raised an eyebrow. Those traditions end today, though I'm sure the press would love to hear you defend them. As if on cue, my phone displayed alerts about Phoenix Global's latest acquisition, the first public acknowledgement of just who owned their precious sanctuary. Now, I stood straightening my designer dress. About that membership revocation. Mr. Patterson's hand shook as he reached for the revocation papers. We could reconsider. That won't be necessary, I smiled, pulling out my own documents. Because as of today the entire membership committee is being restructured. Mrs. Whitmore's perfectly coiffed hair seemed to deflate. You can't just remove you? Surely I can. And will. I slid the papers across the mahogany table. Though the SEC might be more interested in your husband's creative accounting for the club's investment fund. Through the window I could see more of my executives arriving, men and women whose net worth made the club's elite membership look like pocket change. The golf tournament next week, Ms. Bradford said weakly. The governor is attending. We'll proceed as planned, I nodded. Though he might be surprised to learn who's actually hosting him. My team has some interesting questions about those state contracts his brother-in-law keeps winning. The afternoon light caught my laptop's screen, displaying real-time updates as Phoenix Global's acquisition became public knowledge. The club's carefully cultivated image of exclusive power was crumbling with each news alert. Your table at the dining room, Mr. Patterson tried one last time. The one you complained about. Near the kitchen? I smiled. Will make an excellent location for my private office. The renovation starts tomorrow. Though I suspect the kitchen staff, who by the way now have full benefits and fair wages, will enjoy watching you explain yourselves to my audit team. My phone buzzed again. More notifications about Phoenix Global's expanding luxury portfolio. The same company they dismissed as new money when I'd hinted at my connections. The membership fees you paid, Mrs. Whitmore offered desperately. We can refund. Are less than what I spend on coffee each month, I cut in. Though I'm more interested in the fees you've been charging other members, particularly the ones who don't match your preferred demographic. The sound of helicopters approached, my executive transport arriving for the emergency board meeting that would reshape their precious institution. You see, I continued, gathering my things, while you were all busy deciding who was worthy of joining your club, I was busy buying it. And every other property and business you depend on to maintain your illusion of exclusivity. The board of directors, Mr. Patterson said weakly, watching through the window as my executive team assembled on the lawn. They won't stand for this. The board, I smiled, pulling up another document, was replaced this morning. Though most of them were quite eager to resign once they saw the audit results. Fascinating spending habits, by the way. Mrs. Whitmore's pearls clinked nervously as she shifted in her seat. The annual charity ball will proceed under new management, I confirmed. Though the actual charities might finally see more than 10% of the proceeds. My forensic accountants are quite interested in where the rest has been going. Through the club's grand windows, members were gathering to watch as 3 black helicopters landed on the golf course. My private fleet, each worth more than their combined annual dues. The dress code, Ms. Bradford tried desperately. The standards you violated are being rewritten, I cut in. Along with the membership criteria that somehow rejected every qualified applicant who didn't fit your particular profile. My phone displayed another alert, global luxury markets responding to news of Phoenix Global's latest acquisition. The same markets that would soon reveal exactly who held the real power in their social circle. Your table complaints, Mr. Patterson muttered. When you asked to be moved from the kitchen area, will be addressed in the complete renovation, I nodded. Though I suspect the current seating arrangement reflects rather poorly on this committee's priorities. Outside, my security detail had taken up positions around the perimeter, the same professionals they'd dismissed as hired help during previous visits. The marina expansion, Mrs. Whitmore said suddenly. The project you questioned is being investigated by my compliance team, I confirmed. Along with several other improvements, that somehow cost triple the market rate. I'm sure your husband's construction company can explain the discrepancies. The afternoon sun caught my laptop screen as more breaking news appeared. Phoenix Global so finally revealed as the mysterious buyer reshaping the luxury landscape. Now, I stood, smoothing my couture dress. Let's discuss the real changes coming to Evergreen. Mr. Patterson's club tie seemed to tighten itself. Changes. Complete overhaul of membership criteria. Financial audit of all accounts. Investigation of discriminatory practices. I checked my phone. Oh, and the immediate dissolution of this committee. Mrs. Whitmore's manicured hand trembled. You can't. Actually, I can. And am. I smiled. Though I'm sure the press would love to hear your defense of the club's interesting membership decisions, particularly regarding those qualified applicants who were rejected for surprisingly consistent reasons. Through the windows I could see my executive team approaching, global power players who made their social circle look decidedly provincial. The staff entrance you insisted I use last month? I continued. Will be renovated into the new corporate offices. Though I'm sure you'll all have plenty of time to find new clubs to join. Assuming any will have you after today's revelations. Mr. Patterson made one last attempt. The other members are about to learn exactly who owns their sanctuary, I finished. Along with their boats, their private banking services, and most of their investment portfolios. Amazing what you can acquire while people are busy judging your clothes. My phone buzzed with another update. Markets responding to Phoenix Global's emergence as a dominant force in luxury properties. So, I gathered my belongings. About that membership revocation. The committee sat in stunned silence as reality settled over their perfectly coordinated outfits. Consider this your exit interview, I said, heading for the door. Though you might want to contact your lawyers. My audit team has some interesting questions about the club's finances under your supervision. The sound of helicopters filled the air as I prepared to leave, drowning out their stammered protests. Oh, and Mr. Patterson? I paused at the threshold. That unsuitable behavior you mentioned? Turns out owning everything is the most suitable behavior of all. Sometimes I mused as I walked toward my waiting aircraft. The best revenge isn't getting even. It's becoming their boss.